Hey everybody, this is Lawrence from financialthing.com, and today I'm going to be showing you exactly how to use the Kuflink platform as an investor. I'm going to show you how to buy loans, how to use the self-select feature, how to use the auto invest feature for those who do not want to pick out loans, and show you some of the interesting features that I think as an investor through Kuflink you do want to know about. If you don't have a Kuflink account, sign up through the link in the description below. And if you have no idea what peer-to-peer lending is and you want to learn more, you can go to my website at financialthing.com and look for the peer-to-peer lending guide, which you can search for. That shows everything about peer-to-peer lending, what it is, where you can get started. And you can also sign up for my top 5 peer-to-peer lending site list by just putting your name and email right here into this green box. Let's get started. So here is the Kuflink interface. When you sign up for an account, you're going to put in your information and go through the KYC, which is the Know Your Customer form that every financial institution makes new customers fill out. Basically, it's to stop things like money laundering. I'm sure you've been through it before with any bank or any type of investment account that you've opened. Once you've signed up, you can go here to your profile. All of the menu items are on the left side here. Also, some of them are up at the top here. You can see on the dashboard, we got the self-select, the auto invest, and then transfer ISA in buttons along with the contact us. If you are interested in getting a ISA, which is the tax relief account, you can also do that through Kuflink. They do offer an ISA, and now the changes in 2024 with ISAs mean you can open up multiple ISAs in 1 year. So if you want to spread your money around to different companies and through different companies, you can do that now, which is great. So right here on the left is the profile button. This is where it shows your information. This is a test account that I opened up through Kuflink. So if some of the information is incorrect, don't worry about it. Here you can see your personal details, your preferences. If you want to change the way in which Kuflink communicates with you, you can do that here. Email, phone, you can do it through the post or through text SMS. I have email selected here. That's my preferred way of communication. Here on the security tab is the email authentication tab, which basically means there's a little bit more security on your account. When you want to sign in, Kuflink is going to automatically send you an email with a code that you would need to input. Here is documents here. If you want to show your bank account details or change them, this is where you do that. Also shows you information about your national insurance number and your tax country. And then you have the KYC, which is the Know Your Customer. If you hadn't completed that and you'd signed up for an account, this is where it would show you where you are in the KYC process. Next on the left, we have your dashboard. This is the hub of everything that you're going to do through Kuflink. You can see up here on the right-hand side, you have the amount of money that is in your wallet. And then here, there is some general information about Kuflink's investments, including the total amount invested, the total number of investments that have been put through Kuflink, the total amount of capital repaid, and investor losses to date, which you can see here right now is £0. That is not always guaranteed to be zero, but this is what it is right now through Kuflink, meaning that no investor from today, which is April 24th, 2024, has lost money through Kuflink. Down here, it gives you the information about your total investments, your total active investments, active select, so that means self-select loans. So if you're picking out your own loans, it would show you how much of that you have into self-selected loans. Here it shows you active select IFISA, so if you're using an ISA or a mix of both, it would show you how much you're using in your ISA here and how much you're using in the active select non-ISA here. And then here you have the same for auto invest. This is your balance and auto invest and your auto invest ISA here. And here it shows you how much you have reserved in self-select, also ISA and non-ISA. So it basically means if you sign up for loans that haven't actually been deployed yet, it would show you how much you have reserved upcoming. Now, if you click on each one of these independently, it's going to show you even more information. For instance, here on the active investments right there, it shows you how much you actually have active. I don't have anything invested yet. I'm going to show you how to actually invest in the loans in a minute. But here you can see what my repaid investments are. It gives you a list down here. If you click on that, it shows you everything that you need to know about how much it was repaid, what the interest rates were, when the date ended. Also on the portfolio page, there's a nice little hidden feature that a lot of people miss. On your list of loans on the right side, you're going to see next to each loan, there's a little drop down arrow all the way to the right. And if you click on that, that's going to give you information all about your loan, including the loan start and end dates, how much of the investment period is left, how much capital you have invested in the loan, etc., etc. And then you also have these three links, which is agreement schedule, loan updates, and view deal. So if you want to view more information about the agreed schedule of the loan, you can get that by clicking on there. You can see any loan updates that if are added to the loan once they occur. You'll also see any loan updates that are added to the loan once the loan gets updated. Currently there isn't anything on this loan. And then if you want to view the original deal, you can do that by clicking on that link right there. So a pretty handy feature that a lot of people do miss. Also, I'll show you here reserved investments. So again, if you reserve something that hasn't actually been deployed yet, it would have a list of that here. I don't have any yet. And then these tabs up here, you've got the self-select IFISA, the auto invest, and the auto invest ISA. So those different account options are all tied together in this screen under portfolio that you get through from the dashboard by clicking here on these individual tabs. Now up on the right here, you can see we've got the withdrawal, top up, and the transaction links, which you can also get to here from the left side. You can see here top up, withdraw, and transactions. So if you want to obviously withdraw money, you just, it's very, very self-explanatory. You just click on there and it will ask you still want to withdraw, and you just pick how much is in your general wallet. That's the amount of money you have in cash that's sitting in your wallet. You just punch in how much you want to withdraw, and that's pretty much it. Top up, again, self-explanatory. Going to add your bank account or do it through a debit card, and it's very, very self-explanatory. It just runs through so you can put more money into your account. And then transactions, this is all the transactions that have occurred on your account. You can change the date. If you want to search through a certain date, you could do that. That lists everything about your capital, withdrawals, deposits. You can also search here. If you had multiple wallets, you could search by wallet name. And also if you wanted to download everything, you can do that by pressing the download button, which will give you the option of a CSV file, a Microsoft Excel file, or a PDF file of all the transactions on your account. So if we go back to the dashboard here, the main parts that you're going to use when you're looking to actively invest are going to be the self-select or the auto invest. I'm going to click on this select -IFISA button, and you can see here when we click on that, these are all the loans that are available to pick out via self-select, which means you're selecting your own amounts of what you want to purchase for loans. Now, auto invest is something different. It's where you pick out your term, including 1, 2, and 3 years, and then you just decide how much you want to invest in those auto invest products. You don't have to worry about picking out loans. These deals in the self-select screen, they change. They're going to obviously be based on demand. So once these deals get full, then they're going to show completely filled, like this one down here on Milton Road shows £0 remaining. It's 100% filled, but the ones that do have availability will show here. You can see this little green bar showing that 26% of this loan is filled. So you do have remaining amounts here that you could invest. It also shows you how much is left in the remaining pool, which is 142,000 right now. It also gives you information down here about the loan to value amount, total loan amount, and also the loan rating of A3, this one. Now the loan rating depends on the risk assessment on the loan. A1 would be considered the least amount of risk defined by Kuflink, and then you have B rated loans, you can see here. It just varies based on what the assessed risk of the borrower and the project is. You can get more information about each of these loans just by clicking on them. If you hover on this little calendar here, it's going to show you when this loan date is expected to end. This one is expected to end on November the 7th, 2024. Now bear in mind, in peer-to-peer lending, oftentimes these loans do run past the expected borrower loan end date. That's pretty normal when it comes to property lending, but it does give you this expected end date of November the 7th, 2024, but don't be surprised if that loan were to run over. It also shows you here at the bottom in this blue bar when the deal expires, when that deal is actually ending, which is again 7th of November 2024, so really showing you the same thing that this shows you right here. Now if you click up here, you see these little tabs which say live and repaid. This live tab shows you all of the loans that are live on the Kuflink platform. Also here on this tab, there is a repaid tab which shows you all of the deals that have been repaid through Kuflink. There is 1,101 deals as of today that have been repaid on Kuflink. Let's go back to the available page, and we're going to go ahead and reserve one of these loans. Now if you look here, you'll see on this screen that there are two row green Northwest 9 loans. We have a tier 1 and a tier 2 loan. Now if you look here on the ratings, you'll see one is an A3 rating, that's the tier 1, and the tier 2 is a B1 rating. That just means that the tier 2 loan is considered to be slightly more risky than the tier 1 loan, and that is because of loan positioning repayment. Investors in the tier 2 loan would be repaid after investors in the tier 1 loan. And for that, investors in the tier 2 loan are going to actually be paid more in interest. You can see here gross interest per annum is 9.93% on the tier 2 loan versus 9.38% on the tier 1 loan. Now, which loan should you choose? It really depends on what your risk preference is, and also if you feel like getting an extra 0.6% of interest is worth it for you. I personally tend to go for the tier 1 loans, but that's just me. There are other investors out there that like the higher interest rate and don't mind being in that tier 2. So you have to decide for yourself what's best for you. Let's go ahead and click on one of these loans to actually buy some of these loans. When you do that, you're going to see all of this information about this loan in greater detail. You can see here the expected loan end date, the rate of return, the total loan amount on that loan, the original loan end date, and the amount that is available for investing inside this loan. You can read about the lending case here, all of the loan information on this tab. Again, it gives you tons of information about exactly how much the borrower administration fee was. So this is what the admin fee that the borrower paid. You have a 90-day valuation amount right here, the loan to value amount 32.76. It shows you the charge. So this is a first legal charge. It even shows you what the borrower paid for an arrangement fee, so you know it's fully transparent. Tons of information there about the loan. You can read here about the loan rating. You can see here that Kuflink has loan ratings going all the way from A1, the least amount of risk, down to C3. And this loan rating is right here, A3. Right here is the loan update section. So when this loan becomes live, if anything changes about the loan, for instance, if it runs past its loan end term, it would show you that information here and why that happened. Right now we don't have any information because in there the loan has not launched yet. Here we have the loan reterm information. If the borrower's loan is retermed and a proportional rate increase applies, that information would be here in this section. We have the security information, very important because when these loans are given out, there is a secure charge on the property itself. So it shows you what that charge is. Sometimes it's second charge, but nearly always a first charge, which I think is better. This shows you the solicitors appointed, when the valuation was done, who carried out the valuation, and then also the valuation report, which you can read. So you just click on that, and that's going to show you the valuation report. So you can, if you're inclined to want to read about valuations and do your own research information, you can look at that valuation and make sure that information is correct for what you feel that property is worth. And then down here we have borrower's repayment history, and it says satisfactory credit score. So depending on the borrower's history of repayment, that will change. And then down here at the end, we have the location. So you can look on the map and you can zoom out if you'd like to. You can see it's in northwest London. So you can get the exact location. You can even zoom in on a satellite view and see that exact property. Down here, it's going to show you more information about the loan tranches and tiers. So you can see here we have tier number 2, which is that second tier of the same exact loan. And you can see down here when we click on the lending case on this loan, tier 2 is going to say the risk profile of tier 2 is higher than that of tier 1. So again, just kind of explaining why you're getting paid a little bit more interest on this loan than the tier 1 loan. Also, if you notice up here on the right, you have this invest now button, which we'll use in a minute. And then you have this forecast return. So this is really an interesting feature that Kuflink has added very recently, but it shows you if you were to put in how much money you're thinking about investing, it gives you an estimate of how much you can expect to receive on that amount. So if you were to invest £2,500 on this tier 2 loan and the duration went for 6 months and 14 days, you can see exactly what you might expect to receive. Now you notice down here you have these two numbers. You have pay on maturity and pay monthly. So if you wanted to receive your interest monthly, you would get slightly less than if you get paid based on maturity. So this is a one-time payment at the end of the loan term of 6 months, and this would be based on what you would be getting monthly through the loan term. We go back to the investment of that tier 1 loan. Let's go ahead and put in a reserve amount to put in what we would like to invest on this loan. So here, when you click on that invest now button up on the top, you're going to be offered those two options, which is pay on maturity and paid monthly. Now this is the tier 1 loan. You can see right here, if you want to get paid on maturity, so this is at the end of the loan term when it finally ends, 9.38% is what you'll be paid. If you get monthly payments, you will be paid 9%. So not really too much of a difference. If you want to invest it through an ISA, if you have an ISA account opened up, you can do that here. This is how you select yes or no. So I'm going to put no because I do not have an ISA. Also shows here what your remaining ISA allowance is. So if you'd invested, say, £1,000 previously to this load through your ISA account, that number would show you as 19,000. But that is also, remember, your total ISA allowance for the year. So you do need to keep a record. If you've opened other ISA accounts within the peer-to-peer lending space, for example, so you had another 2 accounts and you'd invested 5,000 through those other 2 accounts each, that would mean that your remaining ISA allowance would only technically be 10,000. The Kuflink account is not connected to your other account, so it's just going to show what your available ISA allowance is through Kuflink alone. So you do need to make sure you keep a record of that and keep on top of how much you've actually invested. So here we're going to put in an amount of what we'd like to reserve on this loan. The minimum you can invest if you are a new investor is £1,000. So just remember that. If you are an existing investor, as I am, you can invest £500 into any new loan. So I'm going to put in a number of £500 here. That's my minimum. Also, it shows the selection of which wallet I'm going to be taking that money from. I only have one. That's my general wallet. So I'll put in an amount of £500. And we'll do pay on maturity. So let's click next. Here we need to read through these terms and conditions. Once you've read through them once, you can generally just skip to the bottom and hit continue. It is always good to become familiar with investment terms and conditions because you don't want any surprises in the future. And if you don't read through them and something happens, you can say, oh, I didn't know that happened. Well, it should be all in those investor terms and conditions. So this is going to give us a summary right here of how much we're putting into this loan and what the deal term is of 12 months. With that fact that we're getting paid on maturity of the 9.38% after the loan term ends, we're going to hit confirm. And there you have it. You've been green lighted on this loan to invest £500. That is what we have got reserved. So now if we go back to our dashboard, you see here on this left side now it shows total investments of £500. Nothing active because nothing is active yet. But if we drag forward here, we click to the right, we'll see here, now we have £500 in this select reserve investment right there. That was the loan that we just put in to reserve £500. So that is exactly how you do self-select investing. Now, if I wanted to do an auto invest, this is how I would do it. You just click on the auto invest right here. You can also do it from the very top tab up here if you want. It does the same thing, gets you to exactly the same place. This is where you choose how much your terms are. Now, recently Kuflink did reintroduce the 1 year term. Previously it was 3 years and 5 years, but now they have 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years. You can see the different interest rates gross per annum that you're paid on those terms. Right now they're offering a 10.25% gross per annum on the 1 year self-select, which is a great rate. Or you can go for the 8.86 or the 7.5% on the 3 year. So I'm going to invest some money in the 1 year. We're just going to click invest now in a minute, but also I wanted to just show you down here some really good information. Right now shows you how much exactly is invested through the loan pool, which is £62,085,000, and it shows you how much remaining pool amount. So that is how much is left to go into the investment pool. So right now there aren't any loans that have any availability to go into the auto invest, so that's why it shows 0 here. Next we have the reserved pool allowance, which is the remaining amount for investors to reserve funds into the pool. Also down here it shows you what your remaining ISA allowance is, just like I explained before. Now if I click on invest now, again it's just like self-select. It's going to ask if you want to invest it in an ISA or not. I'm going to put no, and then you can again decide pay on maturity or pay annually. Now this one has the same percent interest rates because on the auto invest product you do actually have that option to get paid once a year or at the end of the product. So if you're using say a 3-year loan term product and you pick pay on maturity, you're not going to get any money back from that you're not going to get any money back from the auto invest product until at the end of the 3 years. For those who want to get a little bit of money back every year, you can choose this based pay on maturity option. So if you're in a 3-year product, you would get actually 3 payments. So year 1 payment, year 2 payment, and a final payment on year 3. So this one we don't have that option because it is just a 1-year product. So again, I'm going to put in a £500 investment here. Click next. Again, here's the terms and conditions. If you want to read through those, you can, which I do suggest you do. Click on continue. It gives you the summary of what you're signing up for, the deal term, how much you're getting paid on maturity or estimation, and we'll hit confirm. And there's your confirmation that you are now invested into that product. So right now we can see that our total investments are now £1,000. We've got total active of £500. That's the money that we just put into the auto invest product. You can see it here too, active auto. If we click on that, it's going to show us right here what we're invested in the auto product. And then if we go to portfolio on self-select, obviously we don't have anything yet because we just put into reserve on that other loan for £500. Once that gets deployed, then you'll see it there on that list. So that is how you invest in those two products. Also on this dashboard, you can see here there's an option to transfer my existing ISA to Kuflink. So if you have an ISA in another company you would like to move to Kuflink's ISA, you can do that. Once you hover over it, it shows you how much time you have left until the next ISA reset. That happens in 2025. Now, if we go down to the bottom here, we have the marketplace. This is basically a secondary market for people to be able to buy and sell loan pieces that they have picked up on the self-select market. If you're in an auto invest product, this is not where you would be able to use this because auto is one pool of many, many different loans. But if you are a self-select investor who's picked out their own loans and you want to pick up some extra loan pieces, let's say you have some money in your account you want to deploy, this is where you do it. Up here you have the buy, sell, and my listings. So on the buy side, this is what other investors have for sale. You can see here, this is the loan amount. showing how much is available. One thing about the marketplace you need to understand is that you can only buy what is being offered in that total amount. In order to purchase this, you would have to buy £1,326 and 58p's worth. You can't buy £100 of that loan, and you get the total loan amount. So bear that in mind if you are looking to pick something up. You can see here there's different amounts. This one has £215 that you can buy. This one has £500. So quite a lot of things listed right now on the secondary market. If you do want to deploy your money, you can do it that way. If you want to sell something, you could do that here. I don't have any loans right now that I could sell, but if I had a few self-select loans that were actually active and I wanted to sell them, I could go ahead and do that here on this listing marketplace. And it's very self-explanatory. You choose which loan you want to go ahead and sell. Just click a few buttons, agree to the terms and conditions, and then your loan will now show on this marketplace. You can also search for something in particular. If there was a lot of loans for sale here and you wanted to search for something specifically, you can do it right here in the search bar. And on the right, we have this My Listings tab. So if I did have things for sale on the secondary market, that's where you would see those loans being listed. So a good way for you to be able to get out of loans if you wanted to get access to liquid money, or let's say you didn't want to hold self-select and you wanted to move the money to auto invest, you can use that secondary market to go ahead and liquidate out of your loans. Again, that is available through the dashboard on the main page under Marketplace. Another thing I wanted to mention, there is a small fee for selling a loan on the secondary market. The best way to check what the current fees are is to go over to Kuflink's website and go to the Help Center. That's going to give you a breakdown of current fee charges for the secondary market and for other fees on the platform. You can see here there is a secondary market fee of 0.25%. That is currently April 2024. And that fee is paid once your loan is sold. And that 0.25% is a total of the entire loan amount that you sell. There is currently no buyer's fee, only a seller's fee. If we go down to the next thing here on the menu on the left side, we got the portfolio statistics. So this portfolio statistics page is a hub where you can get all of the information about how your portfolio is doing. And this is going to give you information on both your auto invest and your self-select lending, all combined into one place. You can see here it shows what the average blended annualized rate of return is. And then on the right, just for informational purposes, it's showing what the Bank of England base rate is, so you can compare these two numbers and see how your portfolio is doing compared to the Bank of England base rate. Also, it shows your historical lending for the past 12 months. In blue, you have the auto lending product, and in the pink, you have the select product. You can see where your portfolio is blended. Over here, you can see this month I deployed £500 into auto invest. It doesn't show what I actually reserved into the self-select product yet because those funds are still in reserve, but once those loans get deployed, it will also show up on this graph. Right here you can see the active portfolio by development versus bridge and lending. That shows up as a pie chart. And finally at the bottom we have a map, so when you have self-select loans and other loans, they will show up geographically where you're lending money to and what projects. Back to the dashboard here. Next we have account overview. Again, this is just another page where you can see all of your loans, what's active and what's reserved. So you can see I have that £500 active in the auto invest and £500 in the reserve section. Also, if you click on the overview button, it's going to show you total interest paid on your loan portfolio. So as your time goes on and you've been invested for longer, you're going to see this total interest amount move in the positive direction. Over on the right here, you can see the statements section and the tax certificates section. So self-explanatory here. If you click on the statements, that's going to show you all of the transactions that are happening on your account. And you can also download that in the form of a CSV or a PDF file, as we mentioned before. And for tax certificates, I'll go ahead and show you what one of those tax certificates looks like. So I'll go ahead and show you what that tax certificate looks like when you click that download button. Obviously, you can choose the dates here, but I'm going to do the current text here that you can see right here on the screen. I click download, and this is what the tax certificate looks like. Next tip here, we have the top up button. So this is a way if you want to add more money. It's basically a way of depositing. It's how you do it. You can do it through manual bank transfer, through a debit card, or through international bank transfer. Very simple. Just walks you through what you would like to do, where you would like to put your money into. So you can pick out whether you want it to go into the ISA account, the select, or the auto invest. Pick how much money you want to put in, and then you just really follow the directions. It's going to give you the banking information. You would transfer from your bank to Kuflink's bank account, and then that would show up in your wallet up here on the right side. Then next we go to the withdraw. Again, very self-explanatory. It's going to ask you, do you really want to withdraw? You can see what available deals are available, and then yes, I do want to withdraw. Shows you how much is in your wallet right here, and then you just put in the amount and walk through that process. Very easy. Next on the left we have the wallet transfer button, which again is just another way for you to be able to top up or withdraw from your wallets. If you had more than one wallet, it would show you another wallet option here. It's just another way to deposit or withdraw. Then on the left we have the contact us button. If you need to get in touch with Kuflink, you can do so here. Here's their mailing address, phone number, and email address. We can use their form if you'd like to do that. And then down here at the bottom, finally, we have lots of different menu options for anything that you might want to learn about Kuflink. If you want to learn about the leadership team, for example, you can meet the team and learn more about the guys and girls over at Kuflink that keep your investments moving. One of the things I always recommend people read is down here under the About Us is the wind down plan. This is what would happen if Kuflink were to go out of business. Every financial company that is authorized by the Financial Conduct Authority, aka the FCA, has to have a wind down plan in place. So that basically just explains everything that would happen if by some reason that Kuflink ceased to operate. I suggest that everybody reads these wind down plan information, because we have had companies that have gone out of business in the past, and it's good to know exactly what would happen and what Kuflink would do to protect your funds. So I suggest everybody were to read that if you are considering becoming an investor. Also down here, we have a lot of different guides that you can learn about Kuflink. The registration guide, the appropriateness test, things about power of attorney and deceased investors guide, a frequently asked questions section, and also shows about the charges and fees that Kuflink charges. Now you're probably also wondering, does Kuflink charge lenders any fees? The best thing to do is head over to Kuflink's Help Center and just type fees into the search engine, and you're going to see the list of current fees. But there are some liquidation fees for different situations. But go over to Kuflink's website and you can see the latest fees and what they are. If you want some more statistics about Kuflink, down in the bottom menu there is a statistics option down here. And that is more of a general statistical information, not really, it's not about your portfolio. This is about Kuflink in general and the loans. You can see all of the information. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. You can see here just general statistics about the platform, including amount invested, capital repaid, secondary market sales. We got 5.9 million of those. How much gross has been lent in March of 2024. So general just information all the way going back to 2016 about that loan book. I think it's always good to look at these statistic pages when you're considering investing through a platform, because you want a general overview of what they're doing as a platform. So tons and tons of information here about different loans and different statistic categories, different risk rating categories, and also shows Kuflink's default information about loans that have defaulted or have gone past due. Well, that's going to do it. That is how you use the Kuflink platform. I've showed you how to buy loans, how to use the marketplace, and where to find all the information you would want to know about the Kuflink platform and their statistics and fees. If you have any questions, head on over to kuflink.com. They will answer all of your questions. Don't forget, every Thursday evening, I have a Financial Thing live stream where we talk all things investing. You can check that out at the Financial Thing YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you next time.